Hi guys, I'm Lily. Welcome to my channel, Insightful Guidance. And I have been called to do a video today for all of the elements. I'm going to start with the element of fire, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And also note that what's drawing me to do this reading is mostly knowing that Venus is in retrograde, or is in post-shadow retrograde, and it started, I think, June 19th. And what Venus in retrograde, what I know, I'm not an astrologer, but I'm an enthusiast and I love astrology, and that's what's next really for me. But Venus in retrograde can signify, especially in the sign of Leo, that it's gonna be about self-care, a deep self-love of self. Keep saying self, but because it's retrograde, it's gonna go into getting deeper into beauty, what makes you feel good, having your heart be heard. The last time that it was in retrograde, Venus in retrograde, was 8 years ago, 2015. So you might want to think, where were you in your life when it comes to your relationships and your money? Where were you in 2015, 8 years ago? And how has your heart grown? How has your experiences have become either more abundant, or have you been repeating the same cycles, things like that? You need to ask yourself, because as we enter this time, we're in post-shadow, like I was saying earlier. It's going to continue and really go retrograde on July 22nd all the way up until September, I believe the 9th or the 7th. And then it goes into another, wrapping up retrograde, going direct all the way up until October. So we'll have a long period of time, basically this summer, to dive into not hanging out in your past too long, but remembering it so that you can take it into consideration, especially the things that didn't feel good, that didn't honor your higher self, and steer in a different direction, like take chances on yourself. So I'm going to start with my moon card, and again, this reading is for the element of fire, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this is a reading basically for the energies of Venus going retrograde from July until September, possibly October. So whenever you get to this video, these messages may resonate with you and or not. I don't know. It's insightful guidance for a reason. So take the information. If it resonates, I like to do readings that help navigate people's energies to a higher self, which is love. So much is changing. I think a lot of us are feeling the shifts and not understanding so much what the shift is. It feels not just within, but like on a collective. I know I feel it. The world is changing rapidly, and if you have been in a bubble, in your own world, meaning, it's okay to peek out and see what else is going on. I think it helps us be prepared. I know there was a period of time where I didn't listen to the news for a hot minute just because I felt like my brain just couldn't compute and take in all that information. Anyway, with that being said, we got a time for healing, which does reflect Venus in retrograde. When Venus is in retrograde, it's the planet of love and abundance. And when it's in retrograde, it's definitely, if your soul is calling for a pause, then a time for healing is definitely resonating with this message that, maybe that pause means not rushing to work every day, but taking your time and kind of finding, or not kind of, but actually finding the beauty in the moment, in the present, in what you see around you, your environment, and get out of your head. The energy is gaining momentum, and the answers you need are coming. So, I think I know a lot of people are just like so impatient and want the answers right away, and that's just not how life works, right? It's just like you put the energy out there, and the universe boomerangs that energy back to you. And if you're acting like, you know, you're impatient or you're not ready, then that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get that type of energy boomeranging back to you. So I'm going to continue to move forward with my wisdom of the Oracle, another card that I love. This is also for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Anywhere in your birth chart, in your placements where you have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I wanted to start with the fire signs because Venus in retrograde is going retrograde in the sign of Leo. Like I said, Leo is all about the heart. Leo is big heart energy and very emotional and must be seen, must be heard. And during this time, if you didn't get the answers that you were looking for 8 years ago, 2015, they're still coming. That's just the journey of life. 8 years later, your answers are still coming in. You know, there's still, you know, and I know a lot of people who repeat cycles, and that's why it takes as long as it does. Just wanted to pop out. Let's see what else. For my fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. Oh, I like this in reverse. Never ending story. I love it in reverse because that means there's an end. And it feels good. It feels good, fire signs. It feels like the things that have ended were meant to end, and the better that you can accept the endings and look into, you know, your present moment and how to move forward with, I don't know, by the books, clarity, stick to your heart, knowing, ask for what you deserve, don't be afraid of it. You know, that is what Leo energy is. I also would say, you know, with Leos and what the hell was I gonna say? It doesn't look like for fire signs is a great time to be in a relationship. I know you guys probably who are single, especially those Sagittarius out there who, you know, can be single for quite a long time and are fine with it. Let go of overthinking about the past. There's a deep knowing within you that has the answers, and it's time to allow the energy that's gaining momentum to happen. Just ride with it. Just really ride with it is what I'm getting for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. There's a part of you that feel like, I know it's time to let go of the wheel, and you know, there's some resistance to it, but again, just visit for a short while where your life was 8 years ago in 2015 when Venus was retrograde, then where you were, what you experienced with your heart, and how if it didn't go well, don't go there again. Like, that's why we revisit the past, and we become, hopefully, grateful for the experiences, thankful even though they were difficult, but they made you stronger, I would think. And I'll speak for myself, which this is not about me at all. It's about the energies collectively of fire. But for this moment, we'll say that all the endings were deep knowings. They were there all the time. And through the chaos and conflicts, that deep knowing was always there. Whether I chose to listen to it or not, you know, I think I've done a pretty good job in listening to it. and it helps, you know. Sometimes we become stuck in a pattern of thinking that doesn't allow us to move forward. And this is the time where let the love, the healing, the closures heal. Let them, you know, give them, I don't know, you know, one of the things I've heard my spiritual coaches and teachers say to me is like, what would the younger girl in you love to hear? You know, how could you heal the little girl in you? You know, that's Page of Wands. Like, what healing, because it's a time for healing, does this younger version of yourself really need? And be good with that, you know? That's part of self-love. That's part of, you know, caring for you. Is how would you want the 7-year-old that is you to be treated or feel? And it looks like, you know, once you do that work of healing, the 3 of Pentacles, it's work, right? People think that, you know, I hear like, oh, I'm healing and that's it, enough, time's up. You know, let's move on. Life doesn't work that way. Fire signs, I think, know that, you know, and I think that's where they bump their heads a lot, and they're just quick to be like, okay, moving on. And then all of a sudden life throws you something else regarding to love, and you're just like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. And it slows you down. But I love the King of Cups is here, so you fire signs might be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or have it in your chart. But I think that the element of water with fire can be very sexy and steamy and like hot if it's the right combination, if it's, you know, divine timing. I think it would be a really good time for the fire signs to get back into, you know, what makes them feel like really sexy and divine and beautiful and loving and soft and graceful and like really gentle with yourself. Again, going back to like that little girl or little boy in you that had this like desire to experience love in ways that they had never experienced before. And this might be the time to really work on those kind of new experiences. So I'm gonna move on with one more deck that I love, just to see what other information I can get on the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius during this time of Venus being in retrograde. I'm definitely, you know, feeling the vibe to get up on YouTube and do, you know, these videos, because I know when I do them personally with my clients, I get such a sense of, I don't know, satisfaction that I can help people really tap into the part of them that forgot about healing the heart, you know, and staying true to self. It's a very, very questionable time, you know, and I don't want to get into what's going on in the world, but anyone that knows what's going on, you know, it's just a big old question mark, and we got to figure it out and bring awareness for ourselves. Like, this is so much work for the collective fire signs to bring awareness to the self, like true deep meaning of what it feels like to love in ways they never loved before. Open-hearted with experiences that closed their hearts. And if you have been going through it in love the last 8 years, the time is asking you to just accept it. That the lessons bring great awareness and emotional intelligence, because I think that is so important, is to have emotional intelligence and be aware, like, when did I step out of my joy? How did that happen? Why am I not feeling inspired, joyful? Like, what's going on? if you guys, fall into this category, I love it. There is success here. There is success in love. There is success in the connection to self, the awareness to self. Because again, this is all about, when Venus in retrograde, the number 1, the number 7, spiritual calling. Listen to your angels. I'm a big believer in God and angels. Like, there's no higher power, and love is everywhere and everything, but it's sometimes really hard to see when you're trapped in fear. And if the last 8 years of your love life or your abundance have been, and everybody goes through this, right? Everybody has these experiences, either, consistently in and out of it, once in a while. It's really calling to tap into your intuition at this time. Like, really use this Venus in retrograde time to get deep with yourself. Get really, really deep and honest, brutally honest, because your intuition never lies. And it's calling out to the Aries, Leos, and my Sagittariuses to, don't be afraid of love. Don't be afraid of it, especially in this time. Like, flirt with the idea of love and what it looks like for you. If you're still unclear, this is the time to stay super curious and, through the chaos of the world, stay in your truth, stay authentically you. All right, and so I'm gonna leave you guys with the Goddess Guidance Oracle and what energy would be awesome to just embrace during this time. With Venus going in retrograde for the next 2-3 months. One more. Okay. This is the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Masculine energy, feminine energy. It's all energy. Just because they're goddess doesn't mean that it's just feminine energy. It is. We have both within us. Nemetona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a powerful place to connect with the divine. So again, this is another message about going within, okay? Finding your answers that are coming when you step outside in nature, when you step out of the distractions of others, when you are quiet, when you are in nature and beauty, whatever that is for you. If you create something in your home, is where you will find the answers when it comes to the deep sense of love that you are knowing is like stirring up in you. It's time to ask yourself a lot of questions in regards to healing, and healing can go on for as long as you like, as long as you're taking actions towards exploring what's new. I'm all for healing all the time. I think every single day you should take, healing means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and you can, self-care is part of healing, you can take it as you like. But I think the biggest message here from my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, is listen to your intuition. Remember where you were in 2015 and heal from that time and grow in a way that you have never ever experienced love before, for yourself first. All right, I hope that helps. And if you'd like a personal reading, check out my description box below, where you can either visit my website or email me. All right, thanks. Peace and love.